what are the things that you're doing to build a relationship sort of on a Zoom call?
Yeah, I mean, we've touched on a number of things already, but I think making sure that you pronounce their name correctly, that you are upfront if you're not sure about how it's pronounced, so you don't murder it. Just be honest and transparent about that. Um, and and again, depending on the person and what you know about them, step into the things that are most important to them and allow them space to talk about that. Because the old Brian Tracy training back from Psychology of Selling, it is still so true today that the more that the prospect is talking and talking about themselves, and the less you're talking, the closer you're going to be to a sale. The other quote in his training course is selling is not telling, which is why, the more questions you can ask, the better to do it. So really, I think that's where I take a very consultative, low pressure, but if I sense a buying signal, I will immediately ratchet things up, but not in a way to close, because we have very few like one call closes in my industry or what we do, because there's a plan, you got to look at things, you got to go into that. But I really think that's the majority of it is also mimicking. You can do mirroring on a call. Had one that we kind of made fun of the guy after in a good hearted way, but we had this guy from Oregon on a call the other day. He was the slowest talker I've ever had on a call, like to the point where at one point I thought his screen was frozen, and I was about to say, "Oh, he's frozen," and then he kept talking. So, I mean, it was literally like, "Well, Chris, I think that our top business challenge." I mean, it was like combination of Eeyore and I don't know, but what I did, I'm a very fast talker and I can go boom, boom, boom. I slowed way down. I brought my language down. I came to where he was and talked to him, and that's a prospect that even today I could close him, because I saw an email before I got on here. I'm not saying mirroring did all of that, but the more that you match body language, even on a Zoom call, you can match body language. If somebody's sitting back in their chair, you can sit back in their chair. If someone's like this, like they're kind of intently listening to you, there you go. You can do the same thing. And if they're nodding, you're nodding. So that's all stuff that if we're not one-to-one, we can still do a lot of that. And that's what we miss a lot of times, especially if you have a habit, and salespeople do this, of spending the first 3 minutes face-to-face, like I'm looking at you right now. And then after that, they're bringing up their notes. They're never looking at the screen. They're just on their notes. They're talking. And they're not seeing that the prospect is just had a big lunch and they need to do some kind of interrupt to jar them out of that. But that's how I do it. And then I think, again, just being respectful and courteous. And I think one of the big questions that I like to ask at the very beginning is, hey, I know you came here for X and Y reasons, but really ultimately, I want to make sure that we accomplish what you came here for today. This is not my agenda. This is your call. So tell me in the next 30 minutes or 60 minutes, whatever we have, if we were to end the call right at that 30-minute mark and you would be thrilled with what took place today, what do you ultimately want to come away from today's call with? And then they tell you exactly what you need to accomplish for the next 30 minutes. And that's why, too, never be afraid, no matter what your sales manager tells you. It's going to be a little controversial. No matter what your sales manager tells you, no matter what your manual book says, no matter if you believe that you need to really dig into something, if you need to listen further, if you need to set a second call, then do it. Because a lot of times, if you just try to follow your process without regard to where they would like to take the call, because you definitely need to stay in control. But many times, you stay in control of the process by following the prospect's lead in terms of their desires and wants for the interaction.
100%. Your sales manager is teaching you these set plays that set plays. This is how you do this. This is how you pass the ball, pass the puck, pass the whatever. This is the pattern that you're going to run. But if you ever played a team sport with somebody and all they ever do is run set plays, they're not reacting to what's actually happening. They're just kind of following patterns. And that would be so annoying if the person only ever ran a set play, as opposed to like, okay, well, my opponent's here, I'm going to run this way. Oh, the QB is going this way. All right, I'll go this direction instead, even though it's not exactly the set play that a set play that was called.